All right, Andrew, how about caller number, what do you think? What do you want to go with? A chance to win from the Boilermaker Law Firm.
Caller number
free
5.
money question of the day. Caller number what?
Caller number 5.
Caller 5 here for this Monday morning. 736-0186. Right now. Caller 5, 736-0186. Tim Reed in studio right now. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning.
Did you watch the game last night?
Well, yes, I did.
How about that?
I would say that game probably is in the pantheon, if you will, of Syracuse basketball, probably among the top 5 ever. I would say.
I
would
think
say number
you're right.
1 is probably McNamara's game when they won the Big East, when they went 6 6 overtimes.
Yeah.
But I'd say this one's up there.
Boeheim calling it the greatest comeback in his coaching history.
Yeah. I mean, it's because it was a team of kind of also-rans. I mean, remember we were thinking that they potentially were the play-in game?
Right.
Right.
And I'm hearing a lot of controversial bid into the tournament. I don't buy that. I think they got in, and they got in, and they made the best of it. They showed that it's funny. This team had so many problems this year with the NCAA and all this stuff with Boeheim. To see these guys come to their peak at the right time.
Yeah, it's an unlikely group, and I think you were talking about earlier in regards to it. They've been so dependent most of the season with Benajay and Cooney, and then all of a sudden, you have Richardson, and I mean, who I think he's going to be a huge player for them.
And really, obviously we want them to go as far as they can go here, but at the same time, looking to the future next year, Richardson, Roberson, and Leiden.
Yeah,
I mean that looks like
incredible.
A great team coming up here.
And I think, and I'm not usually the biggest Jim Boeheim fan.
Yeah.
I just don't like. I don't think he's a really nice guy, but that's fine. But I think the change that he made in regards to the press was
huge.
masterful.
If you look at this tournament,
masterful.
If you look at this tournament, Boeheim's coaching has been brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, he has really coached this perfectly up to this point.
He's extracted every inch of talent out of these players.
Yeah, and Richardson was saying that at the half, because he was flat the whole first half.
Yeah.
He's saying at the half that Boeheim really ripped into him, laid into him. And I think the reporter asked, was that something in private? And he's like, no.
Reach out and touch someone.
Hey, by the way, you're not playing too well right now. Could you pipe it up a little bit?
And really, all you have to do, he's just got to ask Tyler Roberson about that, because Roberson was the guy at the press conference. He said, if I had anybody else,
I'd play.
He wouldn't play 1 minute. Mm-hmm. And look how he's responded.
It's incredible. It is unbelievable. And Cooney, you can't forget about Cooney and Benajay, but Cooney has to be one of the most aggressive. I don't want to say somebody who's an overachiever, but he looks like that. He looks like it's not all talent; it's all heart. And I know that's not the case, but he just looks like, especially running that zone defense, it's unbelievable.
He's scrappy-doo.
He's scrappy, scrappy-doo. All right, Joe's on the line right now in Rome. Joe, good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Are you a basketball fan? Did you watch last night?
No, I didn't.
Oh, boy. Well, I hope you do well on this question. Here we go with spinning the wheel. The wheel of money. It's going to be $100, $200, or $300. Here we go. How much will Joe be playing for?
$200.
All right, you're playing for $200, Joe. Here is your question. It happened only twice in NCAA history. In 2014, UConn men and women both won the NCAA basketball championship. This has only happened twice where the men and women have won. Twice in history. UConn did it in 2014. Which team accomplished the same feat in 2004? Ready, go.
Name one, UConn.
You're going to go with UConn? That clearly was just a shot in the dark guess.
Well, it could have been a trick question.
It absolutely was. He wins $200! Wow! Wow! How about that, Joe?
Joe?
That is awesome. Congratulations. You win $200 on a whim.
Thank you.
That's why you got to spit an answer out.
And he was so close to that buzzer coming down without an answer. And even to be honest, the answer was like the same one. I can't remember the name you said, but it was the same one. Absolutely right. It was UConn, 2004 and 2014. Actually, UConn's men and women have been in the tournament like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
But to win it has only happened twice, and that was 14 and 2004. And Joe in Rome, congratulations. You win $200 from the Habica Law Firm.
Thank you.
All right, Joe, hold tight.
All right.
Okay. He was he
How cool was that?
That was a great guess. Tim, that's how you guess.
That was a great guess.
You got to take the shot. I kind of had this feel with that question that somebody, it would be probably better off getting somebody that didn't know college basketball for that question.
Yep.
Because think about it. Joe doesn't follow college basketball. He probably can't even come up with a team that's big in basketball. You know, I'm thinking somebody would say Duke maybe or something like that. Not it.
The key to this contest is
gotta guess
understanding your
logic.
Brain.
Yeah.
Logic.
Now, that is not easy.
And good luck with that.
That is not easy.
Yeah.
In studio right now is Tim Reed from the Utica Boilermaker, and if you want to run in this year's Boilermaker, you still have a chance, just barely.
Barely. You're hanging on by a thread.
The last check this morning, it was like just over 30. Let's see where we are right now. I'm going to refresh here. These are the number of availabilities. If you want to get into the Boilermaker, we're at 27.
Right, for the 15K
For the
and
15.
10 for the 5, I think, or maybe even less.
The 5K is sold out.
Oh.
We can let you
goodbye.
know on that. That is done. It is full.
Yep.
So that has happened this morning as well.
It just happened this morning.
Yeah, there was about 10 or so this morning. But you have now 27 spots. No one can complain that they weren't given fair notice to get in this year.
My sweet Lord. I mean, we've been open for over a week.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 weeks if you include the
And
advanced registration.
let's just talk frankly about this.
Oh,
it's
let's.
crazy. It's a roller coaster. And for someone, because I can understand your pain here.
Right.
Being someone who's you deal in promotion. And we look and it's like, all right, listen, we're gonna collect a lot of toys this year.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we're struggling and
Right.
struggling and struggling. It doesn't make any sense.
I know.
And here you are. You get I don't know.
Don't drag me into your toy
you're
drive.
at-
That's a different thing, but
you're
that's
at-
fine. But
and then you do we do the water drive for
Right,
Flint,
the water
and then
drive.
and
Yeah.
then we can't fit.
oh, here,
we don't have enough.
let's get a
trucks.
station wagon. We'll
Yeah.
drive water to
A
Flint.
couple cases. I believe that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, it
A
did,
little
yeah.
sarcasm.
Yeah.
Just attached.
So, but I can feel the pain, and that is predicting. How do you predict? One would have thought this would have sold out so quickly, and here you are a week later, and the final ones are just trickling away here.
So, one of the things I thought about was, a couple of years ago, we sold out in 3 hours. So we put all these changes in place, and the changes did what we wanted them to
Right.
do.
Yeah.
So, we put the speed brakes on it a little bit. So I remind myself that we just think about the destination.
Yeah.
You don't think about the journey. Right?
Yeah,
So
I think this is where you want to
a
be.
year from now, who's going to remember?
I know, right? But don't you think this is better?
Oh, it's much better.
Because it sells out fast. Then you got people that can't get in, and everybody's complaining, and they're trying to trade bibs. And
they send
Yeah.
send emails. It's
Right.
just bad.
And this though, everybody's had plenty of time. And the other thing is, I wonder if people kind of get caught up in the Boilermaker hype, and that they get into the 15K when maybe, and I
They're
don't-
probably better for the walk.
maybe they're more like me. Maybe they're more like me than you.
that we're caught
Yeah.
up in the moment.
Yes.
And all of a sudden then they feel, well, I spent the money. I guess I
Yeah.
got to do it and end up in the medical tent and,
Yeah,
whatever.
been
I'm not
there.
making
Yeah, I've been
any
there. Yeah.
specific people,
Sure.
but,
I've been there.
Bill.
Whereas the 5K, a lot of people will say, man, they shouldn't probably do this, but they don't. If you're in good shape, many people will just get in it.
I got to tell you something. The 5K is an area where we see significant activity in the medical tent. 2 reasons why.
Really? Because I think some people don't train at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do a 5K.
Yeah,
well,
5K
no,
is
you
easy.
can't.
Yeah.
And then you have the other people who are very fast.
Right.
Okay. And they have no gas left when they're done.
So they're trying to.
Exactly.
They feel like this is the one that they could actually win this thing. Right?
Well,
They can actually beat their time from before.
Last year, when the race was in, it was maybe 40, 45 minutes into the 5K.
Yeah.
The medical tent was 60 to 70% full, and I thought, oh my God, this is going to be a long day. That ended up actually being pretty much the high point,
right?
And then it dropped down, and then
it
rose, but it never got to that place again.
Right. So as we said, there are 27 spots right now remaining in the 15K, and just this morning, the 5K has sold out.
So I got to get the press release out on that.
Once this is done, though, what happens next? So people should begin
yelling
your
and screaming begins.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
but training should be underway right now. You've had the weather for it.
Boy, I mean, you've had great weather. Although it sounds like we're getting a little turn for the worse, aren't we?
It is by Sunday, Monday now. I mean, it's early now. They were predicting.
Although I've seen a lot of runners out.
I have too. They've been predicting.
Lot of runners out.
They have been predicting this snow, this cold weather. Really, last week they were predicting it. Right. It's still in the forecast. Anything could still happen, right?
So there's probably a few charity bibs left too.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to do the right thing, that's available also. So
and explain that a little bit for those that don't know.
We have 10 local not-for-profits. They have to be active, a physical thing doing stuff within our community, and the person has to commit to raising $500.
And Andrew's still doing it this year for Citron, I think. And if you actually go to Citron's page, Andrew's running stance is right there on the front homepage.
And if you remember the first time that I think
Yes.
Andrew might have run, were you in bad shape then, or were you in?
Oh
were you
yeah.
losing?
Last year was the first year I was actually in shape.
Yeah. The year before that.
Yeah, he's a different person.
Yeah.
He even looks like he looks like a completely different person.
Yeah. I wish he'd act like a different person.
What he lost, good point.
Join the club.
Good point. Anyway, this would be your time, and I mean it's trickling down. As we said, it was 30 this morning. It's now down to 27. It will be sold out today.
Well, and the other thing is here's something else for people to think about, which I have not ever really mentioned is, so next year's the 40th anniversary. If we use the same registration that we use this year, at least you'd be guaranteed entry into next year's race if you've signed up and you run. And
so if you run this year, there would be that 1 week period where you get to get in, and you're guaranteed.
So, and I will tell you, the
40th anniversary is going to be big.
40th is going to be huge.
Yeah,
and we're already planning some stuff for that.
Wonder if I'll be around for the 50th. Or I'll be dead by then. Could be dead by then.
Could be.
especially if I decide to run again.
Yeah,
that'll be it for me. Let's talk about what is going on in Flint. I want to do that when we come back here.
Okay.
Flint, of course, we raised a ton of money for a ton of water this community gave to Flint, and money too. I mean, people have been giving. Pretty amazing how generous we are. But what they're doing over there is something really interesting. We'll do that. Also, Chief, stand by. He has a trivia question for us. Going to reverse the tables here. Come right back. Hold tight. Here's Christine with an update. Good morning, Christine.
Good morning. Police investigating a double shooting in Syracuse. An investigation underway following the death of a woman. Her body was found in a pool in the backyard. And parts of central New York under a wind advisory today.
That'll be this afternoon after 2 o'clock. Rain with a high of 53 today. Tonight, we're looking at some cooler temperatures. We'll get down to 30, and then tomorrow 39 the high. But then we warm back up, 50s and 60s right on into Saturday before things turn quite cold Sunday and Monday. We'll see if that actually does happen, but that's what they're predicting right now. Currently, it is 46 degrees at WIBX. Listen, when you decide to sell your home, your business, or your property, the people at River Hills Properties remind you it's always good to get a second opinion. Selling your home or business is one of the biggest transactions you're ever going to make, and it's important to get it right. River Hills Properties is the fastest growing real estate company in central New York, with 3 locations in Barneville, Little Falls, and now with a new office that has just opened up in Franklin Square, Lower Genesee Street, near the busy corner in downtown Utica. It is River Hills Properties. They give selling your home that personal touch, providing services you only get from them. They create a special in-depth packet for the potential buyer that includes a special professional video, and it's a beautiful video that makes your property look just incredible. Photos, and an information packet that shows everything there is to know about your property. So a potential buyer gets completely everything they want at their fingertips. And here's the other thing. With the way we show homes here in central New York, any agent, so if an agent has a house, another agent can show that house. Normally what happens, they use a lockbox, and there's a box on the doorknob, and your agent will come into a house that your agent probably doesn't know, and they'll show you a house, and most times the agent is learning about the house about the same time you are. They don't do this at River Hills. If they're selling your house, if they're listing your home, they make sure they're at every showing because nobody knows the house like they do, and you do. They want to make sure you're completely represented. Call Robin and get an expert second opinion at River Hills Properties in Barneville, Little Falls, and their brand new office, Franklin Square, downtown Utica. Call Robin, 896-1009, or visit River Hills Properties online at riverhillspropertiesllc.com.